Right. So we are on the perpendicular bisector now. So Ria, perpendicular bisector. Do we know what perpendicular lines are? So Maria, do we know what perpendicular lines are?
Sorry, sir, I didn't hear you. Um, Lines that are 90 degrees apart.
Exactly. So when we are talking about the perpendicular bisector, we are trying to. So let me just give you this. Let me just give you this line here, right? So imagine, so Ria, imagine you had this line A to B. A to B is here. A to B. Now bisector means a cut in half, right? So Ria, perpendicular bisector. I'm going to cut this line in half, and to draw the perpendicular bisector, I'm just going to draw a line perpendicular to the original line going through the half mark. That easy to understand? Some of that confusing.
You could just explain it again.
Oh, no problem. So the perpendicular bisector is a line that passes through the center of another line such that they are 90 degrees apart. And this is the example. So you see the blue line? That's the original line. And this red line is the perpendicular bisector. So I'll make a little note about it, but this is essentially what it is. So the perpendicular bisector is a perpendicular line passing through the center of another line, right? Passing through the right. So Ria, let's try to understand what's happening, right? So Ria, I'm saying that a perpendicular bisector is a perpendicular line passing through the midpoint of another line. So Ria, imagine you had a line AB, right? You with me? AB. You have a line AB.
Yes, sir.
The perpendicular bisector would be a line that's perpendicular to that, specifically passing through the midpoint. So the middle of AB. Easy?
Yeah.
That's it. We need to learn a couple of things. So this is the perpendicular bisector, right? Perpendicular bisector. I would call this the midpoint. And this is the regular line. Okay. Shina, you understand what a perpendicular bisector is?
Yes, sir.
Okay, nice. Sienna, is it confusing you? The perpendicular bisector?
No,
Understand it? Okay.
yeah.
So if I ask you to explain it to me, you can handle that.
Yeah.
Okay, imagine we had a line called CD, right? This is the line CD. Explain to me, how would the perpendicular bisector look like? Hmm.
It would be bisecting right through the middle
So the
to
middle
the
would,
midpoint. The midpoint.
so you agree that that would be the middle?
Yeah.
Yeah, we just estimating, right? That looking at the middle. And how am I going to draw the perpendicular line now?
You would draw it going through the line in the middle, and you would draw the midpoint symbol.
Oh, this over here is just for explanation's sake, right? When
Okay.
we put in a point, you typically put a point like that, but the X is acceptable. I'll put a point, right? Most of you guys typically see points. If you're doing physics, your teacher would have probably show you that there's other ways to represent points, right? But for the sake of maths, right? Just denote it as a point. So Sienna, sounds like you understand it. You have a line, draw a perpendicular line through the center. That's it. Nice. Briseus, do you understand it?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. Serena, easy stuff?
Yes, sir.
Okay, nice.
So you know what? I think next time I'll come back to you for physics. I really want to do physics.
Okay, say no more. Say no more. I'll check you then. Right? Vanessa, I see you here. I didn't talk to you. You good?
Yeah, I going through it right now. I'm sorry, I didn't send the homework.
It's okay. Um, do you feel like Kakashi? Like, do you feel like your profile picture right now?
Yes, bro, I just want to lay down.
Damn. Yeah, I know. It's be tough, but what you gonna do? You gotta survive it. Gotta survive
Yeah.
it. Right? So is there anything you don't understand here?
No,
Okay, cool. So I'm gonna should I assume you all have this copy down? You all still copying down? Let me know what's going on. Shana, I have this copy down?
Yes, sir.
Okay. What about the rest of you guys? Yeah, take it as a yes. Right? So Shana, if you want to figure out the equation of a line, right? In this case, the perpendicular bisector. What two things do you need to find the equation of a line? What two things?
Do you read everyone is y intercept?
Okay, great. So Shana, do you think you could imagine how this question could come?
Imagine how it could come.
So like they might give you this line AB, right? They might give you a line AB. If they do
Mm-hmm.
that, they will have to give you the coordinates, right? So they might give you the coordinate for A and the coordinate for B.
Mm-hmm.
Is it possible for us to figure out the gradient of this line then, if they give us the points for A and B?
Yes, sir.
Yes. And if we want to figure out the perpendicular bisector, is it possible that we could figure out the perpendicular line's gradient then?
Yes, sir.
Great. So we're already halfway there, you know? So y is equal to mx plus c. We don't have m. The only problem is we don't have c, right?
Yes, sir.
Now, in these cases, we would typically look for a what on the line. A what on the line. That's what P.
Mhm.
Point. So the problem now is, how are we going to figure out a point that is on the perpendicular bisector? For that, you think we will find the what? What do you think we'll find to figure out a point on the perpendicular bisector? It's also M. M. So Machina, how will we figure out a point that is on the perpendicular bisector?
It's in midpoint.
Yeah, you'd find the midpoint, right? So you need to know how to find the midpoint, and that is fairly straightforward, right? Right. To find the equation for the perpendicular bisector, you need to find the midpoint. So the midpoint formula is this. So midpoint is equal to x1 plus x2. Sheila, make a guess. If I want to find the middle, you think I'll add the two x values and divide it by what? What do you think? If I want to find the middle of 2 points,
You divide by 2?
yeah, I'll divide by 2. Could you figure out how I would find the y ordinate now? How would I find the y ordinate? So the point
Y1
by
plus
one.
Y2 over 2.
Yep. I think it's easy to remember.
Yes, sir.
Nice. Okay, so please copy down the midpoint formula, right? So I'll give you an example. Let's look at an example. Given the points A and B, where A is let me see, is 49 and B is -2 -3. Find the midpoint. Find the midpoint. Okay, so I want you all to try that. So, Perseus, do you know what I mean by x1 and x2 and y1 and y2? Be honest with me. But that confusing you.
I think so, sir.
Okay,
There's like the formula to find the points, like
that's it.
NASA.
That's the formula they would use to find the middle of a line. So let me give you an example, right? Suppose we had this line A, B. This coordinate would be x1, y1, and this coordinate would be x2, y2. Anytime you have 2 points, the first set of points, we call it x1, y1, and the second set of points, we're going to call that x2, y2. So if you want to figure out the middle of this line, right, the middle, then you're going to use the formula x1 plus x2, and you're going to divide that by 2. And to figure out the y value, you're going to add y1 and y2 and divide that by 2. Understand?
Yes.
Okay. So for the example, you could do a sketch, right? You could do a sketch and show me where A and B would be and show me where the center would be. So, Ria, I think you know how to answer the example.
Yeah, yes, sir, I think I know. I'm working on it.
All right. Jira, I see you join. Let me know how you're going. I know things tough, but how is everything otherwise? Let me know if you're able to answer today.
I am, but I'm still in the hospital. So
Oh, okay.
also with that, I have to leave probably at like 6, but I'll join back once I'm
That's not a problem. That's not a problem.
Whereas if
I know things tough, so it's okay. Yeah. But thank you for coming to class, eh? I admire that. All right. As always, if you're going through the notes and when you're recording, you see anything that confusing you, you'll let me know. All right, so I've given you all 2 more minutes. Right? The time is now 9:41 a.m. Eh?
Oh,
I don't know why my iPad is say that. But
so you want us to send you the answer?
yeah,
Mm.
that's the answer.
Okay.
Right? So in the next minute at 5:32, I should get the answers and then I'll move on. Okay, so couple things, right, Ria?
Yes, sir, I know something wrong.
Nothing's wrong. You just leave out some stuff and you didn't complete it. So Ria,
Yeah,
you are
I got
finding you are finding for a coordinate, right? Enter coordinate starts with an open bracket, then an x value, comma, y value, close bracket.
right.
I see you leave out, I see you leave out the, so you get 2/2, comma, 6.
Yeah,
That's correct, but don't forget the brackets. Next thing, what is 2/2,
one
right? What's 6/2?
and three.
Yes, sir. Yes. So
Yeah, I was like, I wonder if we had to do it in point form or we just leave it like that.
okay,
So
Ria.
I just,
So once we can simplify something, we will simplify it. If it was
okay,
something like 9/8, yeah, leave it like that, right? But because it's
yeah,
2/2 and 6/2, we could actually reduce that. So reduce it.
okay, no problem. At least I understand.
Yes. Okay, Shayna, same thing too. When you're doing the working, even in the second line, please put your brackets because it's a
No
point.
problem. So I'll put it in when I really speak about it.
Oh,
But I mean, sure to put it in the answer.
okay, good, good. All right. So Sienna, let me try the question. Huh? So first things first, do you know that a coordinate is made up of a x and a y value?
Yeah.
All right. So we're gonna start off with point E. So can you tell me what x1 would be?
Would it be 4?
All right. So x1 is 4, y1 is 9, right? And if we're looking at B now, we have -2, comma, -3. So -2 would be what?
X2,
Right? -3 would be?
Y2,
Right. So now we could jump straight into the formula. So the midpoint is going to be equal to x1 plus x2. So what is x1 here?
4.
All right. I'm going to put my plus sign. And now this is somewhere that confuses a lot of students. X2 is -2. Anytime you have a negative number, put the negative number in brackets for now. All right, and then I'm going to put that divided by 2. So far you with me?
Yeah, but I just do one thing wrong. I squared the -2.
You square the -2. I'm not
Yeah,
judging.
I think I watched no, I watched the formula wrong.
Oh, okay,
I
okay.
understand I understand what I do wrong now though.
That x1 and x2 is just to tell you that is the first point and the second, the
Yeah,
first
it was
x and the
a dumb
second.
mistake.
Yeah, right? What is y1?
Um, -2.
Nah.
What? Oh,
So A, 4, 9. So x1 is 4, y1 is 9. B, -2, -3. -2 is x2, and -3 is y2. So what's y1?
9.
Right? 9. And we are adding what to that?
Y2, so it'll be -3.
Right? In brackets. So Perseus, you let me know if you got the answer, right? Oh, guys. We have to ask Sienna the ultimate question. Sienna, do you have a sharp or a Casio?
A sharp.
Oh, good. Nah, you gotta get a new calculator. I will send you the calculator to get. I will send you the calculator to get. Right? So let me show you why I think you should get a Casio.
So I think Cassie needs to pay you.
I
You are
think
Cassie's biggest advertiser.
I think
Yeah,
so.
boy, they need to sponsor him.
I'd have to say, right? That's why I'm saying, but things tough, yes.
So, so
Yeah,
it's
see, this is
like
your stuff for
the
Cassie.
the ultimate volunteer when it comes to Casio. The
I
ultimate defender.
boy, I just trying to make all your life simpler, right? But process and it's real
So
bad.
just because we have a shop, don't discriminate.
I'm
Like
not
after half a we in the class have shop.
I just saying, Casio is easier, right? And Christmas time, I'll be home, I'll be in South, so I could buy a bunch of Casio calculators and I could give it to all you. We just had to meet somewhere, right? Like like in C3 or something. And like I'll give all the calculators. Everybody with a shop.
So it's Santa with Cassie calculators.
Yes, yes, yes. Right? That's the plan. Right? And Serena, didn't forget your the calculator. I just not home. Right? Okay. So Sienna, before people get into the calculator, let's try to understand this. So we have 4, and then we have positive by -2. What's a positive by a negative?
I'm not good at directing numbers, a positive.
No. So you remember as well. A positive by a positive is a positive. A negative by a negative is a positive. A positive by a negative number is a negative. A negative by a positive is a
Negative.
yes. So what is positive by -2? What is positive by negative?
A negative.
Right? So that's good. That this entire thing here is just going to turn to a negative sign. Right? So 4 minus 2 over 2. And that's something we could easily do. 4 minus 2 over 2.
Yeah.
Okay, nice. You should see the screen any moment, right? And then we have 9 plus minus 3. What is plus by minus,
Minus.
right? Now watch this, eh? Let me show you how bad the Casio is. 4 plus minus 2 all over 2. You see how I played just the way it looking into the calculator, like exactly the way it looking?
Yeah.
Get the answer one time. I know with the sharp, you have to put real brackets.
I actually gonna the next answer I think is
You do it.
yes sir. I get 3 for Y.
Yes, that's correct. Yeah, so see, I know that's why I would recommend a Casio, because with a Casio, you can plug it in exactly how you're seeing it. You gotta put no brackets.
That is my phone.
You can't carry your phone in the exam. Sorry. I was thinking, right? Did really check ID and thing. What if I write one of the exams for you? But like obviously of can be a Gil. Most students here is Gil. Um
So they give you ideas.
So
um
if you need us to buy a
We could
wig,
be
no
we could
problem.
be boys.
you know what?
Some of we
If
have the
you need us
voices.
to sponsor the wig, we will surely
Yeah,
do so.
Yeah, all
we
because
will.
all because sponsor anyway.
Okay, no
Yeah.
problem.
All right.
If you could buy face mask for your twin now so you could look like all of us.
Okay.
So and for me it's pretty easy. Just put on a hijab.
Well, they wouldn't even
Yeah.
know. They wouldn't even know what coming. Right?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So Sienna, what is 4 minus 2?
2,
What is 2 over 2?
1. When you
Right?
simplify it.
What is 9 minus 3?
6.
6 over 2?
3.
Nice. And that's it. What we just found was the midpoint. And if all you have trust issues, which is fine, we all have some trust issues, I'll show you on a graph. So Sienna, let's plot the point 49. Right, we're going to plot the point 49. Right, so where 49 is over there. I'm going to plot the point -2, -3. That is over there. Let me just connect those two. That's okay, we will work with that for now, right? Cool. So Sienna, can you see the line AB?
Yeah.
So if we are correct, and 1, 3 is supposed to be like dead smack in the middle.
Yeah.
Let me see. Are we correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, that does look correct, right? Precise. Understand what's going on?
Yes.
Great. Right. So hopefully you don't have any trust issues. Right. Let me add on a next part to this. So we found the midpoint already. Great. Second part. Using the midpoint, right? So using the midpoint and right, so find the equation of the perpendicular bisector. Okay, nice. All right, so Ria, I volunteer you to help me with this question, right? And I promise you, it isn't something scary. Like you did all of this before, you know all the material. There's nothing here that you don't know, right? I promise.
Okay, sir.
So Ria, like we saw, when we plotted this thing, it looked like this. So let me just take a screenshot of this. Okay, cool. It's- Right. Right. So Ria, you understand that our perpendicular bisector would look at something like that? Yeah.
Yeah.
So the perpendicular bisector will pass through what point? What point will it pass through?
The midpoint.
Great. And next thing, Ria, is it possible for me to find the gradient of the perpendicular bisector?
Yeah.
Yes. In the last class, what type of lines did we look at? Did we
Um.
look at perpendicular lines?
Yes.
So if I know the gradient of AB, could I figure out the gradient of a line perpendicular to it?
Yep.
Yes, I could. So my first step then is probably to find the gradient of what?
The first line.
First line, correct. Right, so let me just put down some general steps. Step 1, find gradient of, and in this case, that's going to be AB. What do you think the second step is, Ria?
Find the gradient of the second line.
Right. Right, and in brackets, I'm just going to put change sign and flip. Change sign and flip. You should know what this means. So change sign and flip. Okay. Right. What do you reckon the third step is? So
Finding the equation.
right. So let me map this out, right, Ria? So by this point, I should have the gradient at the perpendicular bisector ends.
Yeah.
So if I were to write it in the form y is equal to mx plus c, what would I have so far?
The gradient.
I would have the gradient. So what would I need to find for next?
The intercept.
Yes, I would need to find for c. So the
Yeah.
step would be find for c. And how would I find for c? Do you remember how we found for c in the last class?
It not coming to me.
Okay, think about it like this, right, Ria? If we know what the gradient is, right, and we know what y is, and we know what x is, can we make c?
So then here.
Say that again?
Oh yes, yes. No, I didn't hear it just now. The something dip. I don't know.
But you understand what I'm saying, right? If you have the gradient and you have a y value and you have an x
Yeah.
value, is there something you could do?
Yeah.
What can you do?
Plug it in the equation.
You could plug it into the equation and make what the subject?
Y.
No. What we trying to
C.
find? C.
C.
So, Ria, to continue, we need to know what the y value is and the x value is. So, in other words, we need our what on the line,
XY value.
right? Which is our what? That's
A
a P,
point.
right? We need a point on the line, right? So, find for C using a point on the line. And Ria, in our case, what would I call the point that lies on the perpendicular bisector in this case?
Um.
Let's see. So again, the perpendicular bisector would look like that. So it's passing through what point?
The midpoint.
Correct. So find for C using a point on the line, and in this case, that's always going to be the midpoint. Right, so once you find for C, write the full equation. And that's it. So Ria, now that we understand these steps, right? Let's do the question. Let's do the question. Let me just move on to a new page. All right. So Ria, let's find the gradient of AB first. So that's the first thing I'm going to do. Right? Ria, would you prefer it if I left the steps over here and did the working over here? Or would you prefer if I did the working for each step, like below it?
No, you can leave it how it is.
Okay, cool. All right, so let's find the gradients of line AB. So, right, so I could call that M1, right? The gradient of the first line. Before we continue, what's the gradient formula? Just tell me fast. Gradient formula is what?
Y1 minus.
Nah.
No, no. um.
Y2 minus.
Y2 minus.
So change in Y. Change in
X2 or Y1.
Right? Y1 all over the change in X.
X2 minus Y. I mean X2 minus X1.
Right.
I don't know why I always get mixed up with that.
Let me show you an easy way to remember it. So it's a change in y, right, Ria? Ria, if you want to figure out how old it is, right? So the change in years, would you say your first, like, would you say year one minus the current year? Or would you say the year you are right now minus the year you want to find from? What would you do? Like,
The year I am right now.
yeah,
Mine.
exactly. So I want you to think of y2 as the final and y1 as the initial. And if I want to figure out change, I'll say the final minus the initial.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Right? So it's always final minus initial. Great. So for me to figure out the gradient of the first line, AB, I need to use our formula. So do you remember what A was? Tell Maria, do you remember what point A was? Do you have it copied down? Point A.
So I lost the page. Ah. 4.
4, comma what?
Um
9.
mine 9, right? And
Always B.
-2. -2, comma -3.
All right. Okay. So we're finding the gradient of line AB. That's what we're doing, right? So Sienna, tell me, what would I call 4, 9? So what would I call that? So we think I should write it up here,
X1,
right? And 9 would be,
Y1,
right? -2 would be,
X2,
-3 would be.
Y2.
Great. So now we're just going to substitute that in into the gradient formula, right? To find for the gradient of the first line. You see me right? M1, that little 1 there means I'll be finding the gradient of the first line. So tell me what to substitute, right? And Ria, you'll tell her if she's correct. So tell me what to write there, Sienna.
You'll write -3, -9,
Mm-hmm.
and then on the bottom you write -2, -4.
Okay. So you said directed numbers give you a lot of trouble.
Yeah, kind of.
All right. So we have -3 -9. Do you know what would that be? What would -3 -9 be?
6?
Nah, wouldn't be 6. Let me show you how a way to think about this, right? Anytime you see a negative sign, it means that you're doing what? Like, starts with T. Anytime you see a negative sign, it means that you're doing what? Starts with T.
I don't know.
Taken away. And that's what
Okay.
and that's what negative sign means, you're taken away.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you so look how you could interpret this, right? If you take away a 3, right? And then you take away 9 and you take away 12 altogether.
Yeah, so be -12.
Right. What about -2, -4? So you take away 4 and take away 2, then you take away 4. How much you take?
-6.
Right. Now, generally speaking, the rules for division is the same as the rules for multiplication. So remind me, what's a negative by a negative?
A positive.
So what do you think a negative divided by a negative would be?
A positive.
Correct. So 6 into 12 is 2. So 2 is my answer. That's the gradient of the first line complete. Right? So we've just finished this step.
Say for your brackets for the negative numbers.
Oh no, you don't need to put it in this case, right? The
So
reason
why And Rihanna's always had to put the brackets for it too.
Okay, let me explain why. If it was -9 here, if y1 was -9, then it would be -9, -9. I would have had to put it in brackets. Like, let me show you what I mean, right? Y2 minus y1, right? So, right, Perseus, y2 is -3, right? If you notice, there's nothing in front of -3, so we don't have to put brackets. Don't have to put brackets. -9, right? Notice 9 is not a negative number, so I don't need to put brackets. Let me give you an example where I would want to put brackets. Suppose I had -3 minus, you see what I'm talking about? If instead of 9, it was -9. And that looking kind of weird, right? And Perseus, looking
Yes.
kind of weird. So then you would put the brackets there. So generally speaking, you put the brackets for a negative number when it comes after something, right? So in this case, the -9 comes, what's in after? Before. It comes before the minus sign. So you need to put it in brackets, right? If you look at -3, there's nothing ahead of it, right? There's nothing ahead of it. So we don't need to put a bracket. Another example would be like this, Perseus. Imagine you had 7 minus 8. That looking nice. Like, look at that. Tell me if it look nice. Or like a
Yes.
decent something.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
put the brackets over here. But if I had -8 plus 7, do I need to put a bracket over here?
No.
No, I don't, because there's nothing that comes before it, right? So I hope you understand that.
I do. And
So
Rihanna, I don't know what brackets for this part. Don't come first, so.
again, you need to put the brackets over here. Like y1 and x1, if it's negative, it should put the brackets.
Yeah,
Right?
on your left. I mean, right side. You understand? So.
Right. Cool. So we just found the gradient of line AB. So this is the gradient of line AB. Right. What's the next step, Ria?
To find the gradient of the second line.
Right. So if the gradient of M1 is 2, what would the gradient of M2 be?
-1/2.
Right. Sienna, do you think you understand why the second gradient is -1/2?
No, I could repeat it.
No problem. So Sienna, a perpendicular bisector is a line that is perpendicular to the reference line or the original line. So in this case, Sienna, end AB is the original line,
Yeah,
and the perpendicular bisector would be 90 degrees straight, right? Like that.
yeah.
So the relationship is anytime you have two perpendicular lines, the gradients are the negative reciprocal of each other. It sounds complicated, but all we're doing is we're changing the sign and flipping the first gradient. So look at what we're talking about, right? So we would have looked at a prior example, or never mind, that example was the one I gave you at the starter class. I erased that. So Sienna, look at these two, right? Do you understand that this gradient here is for the first line, AB? Some of you understand that.
Yeah.
Fine. So this gradient would represent the line that is perpendicular to the original one, right? So this is the gradient of the perpendicular bisector. Now, like I said, the gradients have to be the negative reciprocal.
Oh, I understand.
So all that means is you're going to flip it and change the sign. That's what I show you at the start of class,
Yeah.
right? Negative reciprocal. So let me give you another example. If you had a line M3 and the gradient for that was 2/3, let's just say you had a fourth line and this fourth line was perpendicular to the third line, right? M3. What would the gradient of the fourth line be? See if you could figure that out.
Minus, it'll be a minus sign in front and then 3/2.
Perfect. Perfect. That's the relationship between perpendicular lines. Yeah. Right? So what we just found for the gradients of perpendicular line. Nice. What's the next step, Ria? What's the next step?
So I forgot.
All right.
I
No,
didn't write it down.
think.
Is it to find the equation?
Yes. So here what we're gonna do, right, Ria? Remind me, what's the general equation of a line?
Y equals mx plus c.
Right. So to complete this equation, what are the two things I need to write? What are the two things I must have?
The gradient and the intercept.
Right. Which one do I have already?
The gradient.
I have the gradient. I'm missing the.
Intercept.
How do we find the intercept? Remind me, how do we find the intercept?
By taking 2 points.
Now, by taking 1 point,
Oh,
I think the confusion is that you think x and y is 2 points. No, x and y is
it's 1 point. Okay.
yeah. So
By taking a point, which would always be the midpoint in this situation,
right,
and plugging it into the equation.
correct. But do we have the midpoints?
Yes.
Yeah, we do have the midpoint.
The
The midpoint is 1,
midpoint
3.
is 1, 3.
Nice. So a way to memorize this stuff, try to understand it so you could figure it out in the exam. So the midpoint was 1, 3 ends.
Yeah.
Right. So tell me what the next line should be.
Um. Huh.
You could do this. So Ria, 1 and
Y.
1 would be x and y would be 3, yeah?
Yes.
Tell me what to do in the next line.
Y equals um.
Nah.
No.
You tell me the
That
correct
did
thing at
not
the start,
seem
right?
right.
You tell me the correct thing at the start. We plug in that point into y is equal to mx plus c. Yeah?
Yeah.
Right. So we have y
Oh,
equal to mx plus
3
3.
3 equals to
What's the gradient?
negative a half,
Right?
open brackets 1, plus c,
Nice.
right?
What's negative a half by 1?
Negative 1.
Nah, was 1 by anything?
Oh, a half.
Right? So that'll be
Well,
negative.
itself, negative a half.
Right? We want to find for c. How are we going to find for c?
But we want to make c the subject,
Mm-hmm.
so we could flip the equation.
Right? Tell me what to write.
Negative a half plus c equals to 3.
Yeah?
I don't think I should have flipped it.
No, it's fine. No, you're good. You're good. We want to make c the subject, so c is usually on the left-hand side. So you're good. What to do next?
We could carry a half across the equal sign.
You're going good?
So it'll be c equals to a half plus 3.
Yep. And what's 3 plus a half? That should give you 7/2.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because 3 is 6/2 plus a half. 6 plus 1 is 7, 7/2.
Oh.
So I get confused just now, but I understand how you do it. It's like those I forget what it's called, those fractions where you're multiplying the number by the, I think it's the denominator, the numerator, and then you're adding it.
LCM.
Yeah.
Yeah. What? 3 plus a half, right? 3 is the same thing as 3 over 1. So the LCM between 1 and 2 is 2. So 1 into 2 is 2. 2 by 3 is 6. 2 into 2 is 1. 1 by 1 is 1. 7 over 2. LCM. Yeah. Right? That confused you? Yeah. You're okay with that.
I was it too.
All right.
Once I understand, that's how I'll be like, oh, I like how you're doing it.
All right. So I trust I understand that, right? Okay.
Yes.
So Ria, let's see what we did, right? So
Sorry, sir. I just had these sneezing fit on my life.
you're good now though?
Yeah, I surviving.
All right. That's good.
Yeah.
So we found the gradient of the first line, right? We found the gradient of the second line. We found for C, right? And now we just had to write the full equation. So what is the full equation?
Y equals
Yeah, y is equal to.
negative a half x plus 7 over 2.
That's it,
Yep.
right? Equation of. Was that hard? Or you feel like you could get that correct in an exam?
I feel when I say it now, I go feel I go get it in the exam, eh? But when I
Right.
get in the exam, I might panic.
Right, you can get this correct. This is easy maths.
Yeah.
And Ria, let me just say you still have trust issues, right? If I put in that equation here, shouldn't it give me a line that looks like it passing through C and is 90 degrees to AB?
Yeah.
Let me see. So we have so y is equal to negative a half x plus 7 over 2. Are we correct? Does it look correct?
Yep.
Yep. Sienna, you okay?
Yeah.
All right. Now, some of this stuff might be a little confusing because you didn't do it back yet in Form 4. But is there anything in particular you didn't understand at all?
No, well, I was trying to understand how the y was equal to 3, but then I was watching over the notes and I realized how.
So you realize that what was happening, right, is the perpendicular bisector would pass through the midpoint. It would pass through the midpoint. Yeah,
Yeah, and then when we get 1 and then the comma 3, it was the 1 would be x and the 3 would be y. That's why it would be that equal to that.
perfect. Right? So you have it. So I'm going to give you all some time to copy down this example. I really need you to copy down this entire example in its entirety. So I'm gonna give all you um 3 minutes. 3 minutes might be too little bit. I'm gonna give all you 4. Right? So I want you all to copy down the notes. As soon as you're done, copy down this part. Let me know so I could scroll. All right. Right. Shayna, do you have nearly everything copied down? Let me know.
Yes, sir.
All right. All right. Sienna, do you have everything copied down?
Yeah.
All right. Vanessa, didn't hear from you in a little while. You understand everything that's going on?
Yes, sir.
All right. Yeah. Copy now everything or
Yeah.
okay. Which part you reach here?
Um, well, the third step.
Third step. Okay. All right. So does everybody have this particular part copied down? Please let me know.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay. I'm going to scroll now. All right, guys. So pick up the pace. Try to copy that down as soon as you could, so we can move on to a question. Okay, guys, do you all have everything copied down? This section?
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay. What about the
Yes,
rest
sir.
of you guys?
Yes, sir.
Okay, cool. Just copy down that and that'll be it. Okay, so that's another question you all could try. Right? So let me go on to a new page. All right. So who wants to volunteer to do the question with me? I need a volunteer, right? I don't have anything to be afraid of. Who wants to volunteer? Are they real staying quiet, boy? Boy, oh boy. Guys, are they think the new student should try it? See, and I see how we don't have any snitches in class and thing. Like all of them looking out for you,
Yeah.
right? But let me try the question though. On our real, let me try the question. So I'm going to drop this question on the WhatsApp chat. And if you feel confident in this topic, you don't have to bother with me and Sienna on the screen, right? You could just try the question, right? I know some of you all are capable to do the question by yourself. So for those of you all that feel confident, I just send the question on WhatsApp, begin the question, right? Try something. Right. So Sienna, let's go, right? So give the question I read for me.
2 points A and then in brackets 2, 5 and B in brackets 6, 1 are plotted on a coordinate grid. A, find the midpoint of the line segment AB. B, calculate the gradient or the slope of AB. C, hence find the equation of the perpendicular bisector of the line segments AB. Give your final answer in the form AX plus BY plus C equals 0, where A, B, and C are integers.
That sound kind of different, right? It's a little different, but it's the same thing. Is there anything that I read that really confused you? Probably like a
Mm,
coordinate grid or like any form ax plus by plus c is equal to 0. Was there anything that confused you?
no, not really. Except for like the ax plus by plus c. Maybe because it's not like the y is equal to mx plus c.
Yeah, is they don't want the answer in the standard form. They want me to do something slightly different. But it will be easy. You'll see. So Sienna, let's do the first part. They want us to find the midpoint of the line segment AB. So how do I find the midpoint?
Okay, so the formula to find midpoint is x1 plus x2 over 2 and then comma y1 plus y2 over 2 and like that.
Yep. How
So
am I going to get what x1 and x2 is and y1 and y2?
so you'll write the A and then the 2 and the 5 in brackets and then the B and the 6 and the 1 and you'll know that the A for the 2 it would be the 2 would represent x1 and then in the B the 6 would represent x2 and the 1 would represent y2.
Lovely. Right. Let's tell me what to write.
So you'll write 2 plus 6 over 2 and then you write 5 plus 1 over 2. And then you could add the 2 and the 6, which would be 8 over 2. And then the 5 and the 1 would be 6 over 2. And then you could simplify. And 2 into 8 would be 4. And 2 into 6 would be 3. So it would be 4, 3.
Nice. So for those of you all that were trying the question individually by yourself, did you all get 4, 3 for the midpoint?
Yes, sir.
Okay, nice.
Yes, sir.
So we got part A correct. It's like 2 marks we get. Lovely. Part B now. Find the gradient slope of AB. So, Sienna, in part B, do they want us to figure out the gradient of the perpendicular line or the gradient of the first line AB?
The gradient of the first line AB.
Lovely. Right. So remind me what's the gradient formula?
The gradient formula is m is equal to y2 minus y1, well in brackets, y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1.
Right. So we want to find the gradient of line AB, right?
Yeah.
So guys, let me just show you something, right? You see how we have M? You could put a little subscript over here to represent what you're finding the gradient for, right? You can call it M1 if you want to represent the gradient of the first line, or you could write a little AB to represent the gradient of line AB. All this is fine, right? MAB or M1 is fine, right? But we find an gradient of line AB, so I'm going to write MAB. Okay? Sienna, don't we already know what Y2, Y1, X2, X1 is?
Yeah.
So I don't have to write that back. We already know what that is. So tell me, what
Mhm.
am I going to write for Y2?
So y2 would be 1
Mm-hmm.
minus, wait, let me get a question. 1 minus 5
Yeah. 1 minus 5. Mm-hmm. All over what?
and then all over x2 minus x1. So that would be 6 minus 2.
Right. What is 1 minus 5? So again, directed numbers give you trouble, right?
Yeah, it will be minus 4.
We minus 4. Think of it like this. You take away 5 and they give back 1. How much you currently take away? Like 4, right?
Yeah.
If you take 5 or something and they give back 1, you're still owing 4, right? 6 minus 2, right?
4.
6 minus 2, that's simple as 4, right? So we end up with
Yeah.
minus over 4. Okay. What's a negative divided by a positive number?
A negative
4 into 4 is?
1.
Right. Great. So we found the gradient of the first line, AB. So far, straightforward.
Yeah.
Nice. Part C. Hence find the equation of the perpendicular bisector. Right? So we need to find the equation of the perpendicular bisector. So before we start, Sienna, tell me what's the general equation of a line?
It is y equals mx plus c.
Great. Tell me something, right? We'd have the original line. This is a very rough sketch, right? Very, very rough sketch. You'd have your first line, AB, and then, of course, you would have your perpendicular bisector. We know that the perpendicular bisector passes through what point? Thomasina, it always passes through the what point?
The midpoint.
Right. And did we find the gradient for the perpendicular bisector already? Or we still got to find that?
Yeah, we did. No,
Ah,
no, we didn't.
that
We
was
find for AB, I think.
right. We found the gradient of line AB. If that is the case, do you think you could tell me what the gradient of the perpendicular bisector is?
So you would have to change the signs and you would have to reciprocate. So I do have it written down because I was doing it because I was telling you to do. But it would be plus 1.
It'll be plus 1. So just 1. That's the final answer. If anybody is confused, -1 is the same thing as -1 over 1. If you flip that, it's going to be 1 over -1. And if you change the sign of the entire thing, it's going to turn to plus. So plus 1. Are you guys confused or okay with that? Ria, that confusing you?
No, sir, I didn't get it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we have the gradient, right? Ria, do we have a point on the line?
Yes.
What
You have the
point?
midpoint.
Correct. Okay. So, Sienna, you okay with everything that happened so far, right?
Yeah.
Nice. So look at what I could do now. I could say y is equal to 1x plus c. That is the incomplete equation. So we don't have the full thing, but that's what we have right now. Yeah, agree?
Yeah.
Right? Because we know that the gradient is 1. We know that the gradient is 1. So I just made that substitution. What am I missing?
The y and the x and the c.
Okay. The y and the x, we usually leave that blank. We leave it as is, right? To find the equation of a line, you need the gradient and the y-intercept. So you need m and c. You need m and c. So far, we found for m. What's the other thing we need to find for?
The c, the y-intercept.
Correct. So to find for that, you're going to pick a point through which the perpendicular bisector passes through. And we know that it passes through the midpoint. And could you remind me what the midpoint was?
I do have it written down.
Right? It was 4, 3.
Okay.
So if the midpoint is 4, 3, that would mean that x is 4 and y is 3. Yeah?
Yeah.
Right? And so what I'm going to do now, I'm going to do a substitution so that c will be the only unknown. Right. So tell me what to plug in. So anyway,
Um,
put 3.
anyway, to put 3.
Yeah, anyway you see y, put 3. Anyway you see x, what do you think I should put?
Anyway, you see x, put 4.
Yes. So I'm going to write 3 equal to what?
1 in brackets, and then 4 in brackets.
Perfect. Obviously, you're not going to write 1, 4, right? You're not going to do that, right?
No.
No. It's 1 by x, so 1 by 4. Then plus c. So 1 by 4 is?
4.
Right? Plus c. How am I going to find for c now?
So it would be, you would switch it.
Wait, so there's multiple ways you could do this, right? Some students would learn that, you could just move across the 4, right? 3 minus 4 minus 1. So you then put minus 1 is equal to c, and then you would flip. That's fine. But how I usually show my students to do it is, you still we have 4 plus c on this side, and we want to find for c.
Yeah.
All we're gonna do is just gonna swap the left-hand side with the right-hand side. So I'm gonna write 4 plus c is equal to 3. Enter your custom with the unknown being on the left-hand side.
Yeah.
Right. So now that we have c on the left-hand side, tell me what to do next.
You could carry across the 4, and since those are positive, it'll be a negative now. So it'll be 3 minus 4. And then it'll be c is equal to 3 minus 4, which would be minus 1.
Excellent. So now I could go ahead and write the formula for the equation of a line. Right? So y is equal to, so
mx plus c.
right, what is m?
M is the gradient, and the gradient was the gradient was 1.
Right? So we're gonna say 1x. 1x. And what was c?
C is minus 1.
Right? So I'm gonna write y is equal to 1x minus 1. Right? So far, you understand every single thing we did?
Yeah.
Nice. But is that the form that they want the answer in?
No.
They want the answer in this form. They want it in the form ax plus by plus c is equal to 0. That's how they want it, right?
Yeah.
Right. Right. So, Sienna, if this is the case, right, you notice anything on the right-hand side here? In the form that they want it in. You see anything on your right-hand side?
0.
You see in 0, right?
Yeah.
So, to find the answer and write it in that form, this is all we're going to do. This is all. So stay with me. You see this 1x? I'm going to move it across. So that's going to turn to minus 1x. We already have y over there, so that's just plus y. I can write that as plus 1y. And c is a constant. And so if you move that across, if you move minus 1 across, what would you get?
Plus 1.
Right? And since we move across everything that was here, it's now equal to. So we just
0.
right, because we took everything that was on this side and move it across. So if we take everything and move it aside, have anything on this side?
No.
And so that'll be equal to 0 because there's nothing on that side. And that's the answer. So just to recap, what did I do? I took the 1x and I moved it across, right? So minus 1x plus 1y, y was over here. And then I took the minus 1 and I moved it across, so plus 1. That confusing, you understand?
I understand it.
Okay.
So that's the whole answer out of everything we just do.
Yeah.
That I feel sexy playing with my mentors, you know.
Because the way they worded is so different from how Sir worded it. I was like,
No, but,
segment.
but this is how the questions will come. This is how the questions will come.
So I cannot be getting stuff right all the time. Sexy making people feel dumb.
Well, as Matt said, this is the proper way to do the question. This is proper working. This is proper working. Yeah.
The
This is
way
the,
she does word this stuff does make me get confused. So that is what.
well, here what, right? Let me run through it one more time so that everybody understands what's going on, right? So Perseus, you understand up to this point, right? Y is equal mx plus c.
Yes, sir.
Okay, nice. So they want it in the form ax plus by plus c is equal to 0. That's the form they want it in. So in this form, Perseus, are you seeing anything on the right-hand side? Someone tell me, Perseus, you seen anything on your right-hand side?
Yes, the zero.
All right, so if you're seeing 0 on your right-hand side, that means there's nothing on your right-hand side. So let me show you what we're going to do, right, Perseus? You see how we have 1x minus 1 on the right-hand side?
Yes, sir.
All I would have to do is I would just take these things and I would move it across. If I do that, then there's going to be nothing on the right-hand side. You understand what I'm saying? If you take what was on your right-hand side and you bring it across, it would have nothing on your right-hand side. Nothing. So tell me, Perseus, if I take the 1x minus 1 and I bring it across, what shall I write?
Negative 1x plus 1 plus 1.
Plus 1
Yes, sir.
or plus y?
Plus y.
It's all, let me make sure I'm clearing up that confusion, right? So we taking this and just moving it across, right? That's all. So it turns to minus 1x
Oh, yeah. Plus y.
plus 1, and the y was over here, and the y is positive, so we say plus y.
Plus 1y.
Yep. So you understand that 100%. You sure you understand that?
Yes, sir.
And since I took everything that was on your right-hand side and I moved this across, I'm going to write 0 now because I took everything and I moved it across. Yeah?
Combines the 1y by any c.
So let me show you what we got to do next. So we could, so if you have addition, you could actually move around things. So we could actually move around anything that's there. So let me show you what I'm going to do, right, Perseus? The minus 1x is already where it should be. So I'm going to leave that over there. Notice that the 1 is by the by spot. It shouldn't be there, right?
No, sir.
So, and the 1y is by the c spot, and it shouldn't be there. So instead of writing 1 plus 1y, I'm just going to write plus 1y plus 1 is equal to 0. That's it.
That's how I have it, sir.
Nice. And you see how we have, I put the minus 1 and the 1, so everybody go understand. But truth be told, you don't have to write out that negative 1 and that 1y. You could just write negative x plus y plus 1 is equal to 0. You could write it like that if you want, right?
Ooh.
Let me show you another way you could work the question out, and some of you would have got different answers, right? So, Sheena, you there with me? Let me know if you're there. Sheena?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Sheena, let me go through our alternative solution, right? So we have y is equal to 1x minus 1. Y is equal to 1x minus 1.
Wait, just answer my class.
Say
We'll
that again?
continue.
Okay.
We'll continue.
And if I wanted, I could I just move across the y instead,
Yes, sir.
right? If I do that, what am I going to write on the left-hand side?
You should be move across the Y.
Yeah. I would write 0 on the left-hand side, and
Yes, sir.
right? And that would be equal to what? You tell me.
Minus y plus 1x minus 1.
Right? And I could just write that as negative y plus x minus 1. And all I'm gonna do now is just flip, right? So minus y. Right. So both of these are valid answers. Ria, you're probably wondering, but what? Something about this kind of weird, right? Because the answers looking a little different. Ain't you seeing that?
Yes.
Yeah. So like you have some trust issues now. Wait, if I want to put this in the form that they're asking, I would put the x here. So I'd say x, right? Minus y minus 1. So let me explain something, right, Ria? Check this. If I were to take this answer and multiply throughout by negative 1, what would happen? Let's see. Ria, what is minus 1x by minus 1?
Um. Huh?
Was negative 1 by negative 1,
One.
right? So what I'm doing right now is I'm just showing you something. I could multiply both sides by minus 1, and that's allowed. In maths, that's allowed, right? Once you do it on both sides. So if I multiply by minus 1, that minus x is going to turn to positive x. What do you think the positive y is going to turn to?
Um. Negative y.
Right? We think that positive 1 is going to turn to.
Negative 1.
What is 0 by minus 1?
0.
Right. Isn't this the same thing as this?
Yes.
Yeah. If I were to
Oh,
multiply,
that real weird.
but it's completely valid. It's completely valid. If I were to multiply this by minus 1, watch, that x going to turn to minus x, and negative y going to turn to plus y. And negative 1 going to turn to plus 1, and 0 by minus 1 and 0. So these answers are technically the same. And if you write the answers in either form, you were supposed to get full marks, and you will. You will, right? We okay?
Yes, sir.
All right. Shina, you okay with everything?
Oh, yes, sir.
Okay. Right. So I'm gonna call that a day for perpendicular bisector. When we start doing questions, like past papers, we will go through more questions, right? But the next thing I want to look at that I had planned was parallel lines, right? So I want to go through parallel lines. While I'm on this topic of perpendicular bisector and line segments, it has something that you should know, right? I've rarely ever seen them ask it, but sometimes they do, and you should know it. Have any of you all heard about the length of line, like the length of line formula in school? Did any of you all hear about that? Length of a line.
No, sir.
Okay. Okay. You should know the formula at least. So length of a line. It rarely ever comes, but you should know it in case they ask. So the length of a line formula given by d for distance, is just the square root of x2 minus x1 squared plus y2 minus y1 squared. That's it. That's really it. All right, so let me give you an example, right? Find the length of the line segment AB, given that A, could somebody tell me the coordinates for the last question? What was point A?
A was 2, 5, and B was 6, 1.
Okay. And B was 6, 1? What was B?
6, 1.
All right. Okay. So, Sienna, I promise you it's extremely simple, right? Again, you're seeing this x2, x1 thing. The reason why you're seeing that is because you have 2 points. Anytime you have 2 points, you're going to see x2, x2, y2, x1, y1. You're going to be seeing that. So tell me, Sienna, what is x1? What is y1?
X1 is 2 and Y1 is 5, and then X2 is 6 and Y2 is 1.
Nice. Vanessa, tell me, what am I going to plug in? How am I going to plug this in to find the distance of that line segment?
Okay, so basically you put in the 6 into x2 and the 2 into x1 and the 1 into y2 and the 5 into y1.
Yep, that's about it. Right, let's simplify. What is 6 minus 2?
4
So 4 squared. What is 1 minus 5?
minus 4.
Right? We're going to leave minus 4 in brackets because it's a negative number. So minus 4 in brackets squared. Okay. What is 4 squared?
8. No, wait, we're 16.
You're lucky there, boy. 16.
Sorry.
What is minus 4 squared? Wait. How much of you all think that minus 4 squared is going to be minus 16? How much of you all think that minus 4 squared will be negative 16? Come on. Okay, how much of you guys think minus 4 squared should be 16?
I think so.
You think minus 4 squared should be 16?
Yeah.
I agree. Everybody real quiet. I don't know why. Right? Vanessa, when we square in something and we multiply in something by itself, so minus 4 squared really means minus 4 by what?
Minus 4
It's a negative by negative.
positive.
Right? So that's gonna be plus 16. Cool. So you wouldn't be able to work this one out mentally. So plug it into your calculator. Square root of 32 is what? That should be like 5.6 or something. 5.4, 5.6, somewhere around there.
5.6, yeah.
Oh, what? Nah. I do that mentally. I do that.
It's,
I doubt that correct. Let me
no,
see.
it's 5.65, yeah.
Where did you? Nah. About. How I do that, right? Let me show you how I do that. We know that 5 squared is 25, and we know that 6 squared is 36, yeah? And you know that?
Yeah.
So the square root of 32 would have to be somewhere between 5 and 6. So like I just guess and say 5.6, right? Yeah, that's how I do it.
Crazy work.
Yeah, boy. So 5.65. Right. Well, if you round it off to 2 decimal places, it really should be 5.66, because the full decimal is 5.656. The number after 5 is 6, so you'll round up. So 5.66. Understand?
Yeah.
All right, so you'll say 5.66 units. So that's the length of line AB. That's the length of it. So if you were to actually plot this, right? If you were to actually plot the points A, right? If you were to plot A, so um, so guys, if all they were to plot it, right? Like if all they actually plot it on graph paper and measure this, it's supposed to be 5.66. That's what we're finding for. We're actually finding the length of the line segments. All right. Cool. So you need to know the formula for length of a line in case it comes. Right? Let's move on to parallel lines. This is very straightforward, I promise. Parallel lines. These are lines that never intersect. These are lines that never intersect because they have I'll highlight this as same what? Same gradient. Let me give you an example of what I mean. Because Ria, you're probably wondering what he mean by they could never intersect. I'm sure what I'm talking about. Okay, Ria, would these two lines eventually intersect if you like if you extend them?
Yeah.
If you extend them and they would eventually intersect.
Yeah.
Okay, so would I call these parallel lines?
Nope.
No. What about that line and that line?
Nah. I mean, yeah, you could call it parallel lines.
Yes, because no matter how much I extend these lines, will they intersect?
Nope.
Nope. Right. I'm going to make a cruel joke over here. I'm going to make a cruel joke. It might make somebody cry. Um, don't bum up for this, eh? All right. Your crush. Yeah.
So that is diabolical.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
That kind of diabolical, but
Wow.
Madness.
yeah. But you know what is that example? You know what is that example that isn't a parallel line? You and I grade one. Because it could happen. Could happen. Yeah. You
Okay,
could
good save.
yeah, good see.
Good save.
Right? So I'm gonna write a little statement here. Uh, Let me draw a little breakout here. Right. Womp womp.
So I'm sure you have offended some people tonight.
Actually, these lines will never
Talk about dramatism.
will never touch or intersect.
So you sure you know drama class too? Because you'll be perfect for that.
Thank you. Right. So this is what a parallel line is, right? And if the gradient of this is okay, wait, guys, is this a positive gradient or a negative gradient? Let me see if I remember the directions. Positive or negative? What's that? Positive or negative?
Negative.
Negative.
Correct. So let me show you what's going on, right? Let me just call this line one. Let's just say the gradient of line one was say -2, right? What would what would the gradient of the second line be? Since it's parallel, what would the gradient of the second line be?
-2.
Yeah, the gradients would be the same, right? See, Anna, you understand what I'm saying? Same gradient,
Yeah.
right? See, Anna, did I offend you?
No, sir, you was laughing at your own joke.
Way! No, that was, see, Anna, wait, boy, you have bars, you have bars. I don't know what to say with that one, right? But I just like to think my jokes
Let's
fun.
just wrap it up. Wrap it
I,
up or go home.
I
You can't
like,
do nothing else at that point.
yeah, boy, I really can't. I really can't.
She, yeah, she cook here.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I get cook with that one, right? But Sienna, you understand the concept, right?
Yes, sir.
Right. Imagine if you was driving up this hill and this hill, wouldn't it feel the same?
Yeah.
Yeah, because it had the same steepness, right? So when we're talking about parallel lines, they have the same exact steepness. So, guys, this is like the same process as perpendicular lines. It's just that you don't have to do any weird things with the gradients because the gradients are the same. So let me get a question real quick. And once we finish with this, we are done with lines. I probably should go through intersecting lines in detail. So yeah. Let me get a question real quick. Let me check the worksheet. The worksheet should have a question. Oh guys, so let's see how I have a length here. You guys would have just learned the length formula. And I really did take my time and do this worksheet because they have everything. They have all the formulas in the worksheet. Every single formula. All right. So let's do this question here. Shall we? Let's do this question. It's an application type question to wrap up everything. So let me go. Right. So I need some help with this question. Priscus, I'm gonna volunteer you. You're gonna help me, right?
Okay.
Right. So Priscus, they want us to find the equation of line AB. How am I going to do that? Priscus, how do you find ingredient given 2 points?
Um, the gradient of a line.
Yeah, because here what, right, Priscus? In part A, they are asking us to find the equation of line AB, right? That's what they're asking us. But to find the equation of a line, right, Priscus, what are the
Yeah,
things you need in the line? What are the things you need for the line?
you need 2 points
To find the,
to find the gradient, the
right?
equation, which is y equals mx plus c.
Right. So to find the equation of a line, you need the gradient and you need the y-intercept. So the first thing we're going to find for is the gradient, and then we'll find for the x-intercept. What's the x-intercept? Y-intercept. Right? Y-intercept. CZ y-intercept. Right? So Perseus, how am I going to find the gradient of line AB? How am I going to find the gradient?
M equals open bracket y2
You
minus 1.
don't have to put brackets. Right? 2 minus.
Okay, so good.
It's only if you have a sharp, it's only then you have to plug it into your calculator. If you're plugging it into your calculator, you'll have to put brackets, right? But when you're writing the formula, you don't have to put brackets. So the y2 minus y1 over. Right, so proceed as y2 minus y1 over.
X2 minus x1.
How am I going to figure out what is x1, what is y1? How am I going to do all that?
Well, we have to give us 2 points.
Okay, so what should I write on top of E?
X1.
So x1 is 1, right? Okay.
Yes.
What to write next?
Y1.
Yes.
Then
What?
X2 and Y2.
Cool. So tell me what to substitute.
Y 10 minus 2 over 5 minus 1.
What is
That
10?
is 8 over 4.
What is 8 over 4?
2.
Right? 8 over 4 is 2. So the gradient is 2. Cool. So we found one part of the line, which is the gradient. Gradient is 2. What aspect of the line do I need to find for next?
X and C.
No.
No,
Find for C.
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 Find for C. Yeah.
Right. So how are we going to find for C?
That's up. Um, well, so
So
did we find a point yet?
no, if you notice in
Okay.
this question, they just asked us to find the equation of line AB. They just asked us to find the equation of line AB. They didn't ask us to find out in perpendicular bisector. Just the
Okay.
equation of line AB. All right. So process is the same steps, right? You find the gradient, then you look for a point on the line, you plug in the x and y, and you find for C. That's the general steps.
Okay, so we
Uh,
could use point. So you could just use y equals 2 plus C.
not so fast.
Okay,
The gradient is 2, so I'm going to write y is equal to 2x. I don't
y
have here,
plus
so I'm just
C.
going to write back plus C. I'm missing C. So to find for C, I need a point on the line. Process, do I have a point that's on the line?
Yes, sir.
How much points do I have on the line?
You have 2 points.
Could I use anyone?
Yes, sir.
Right, because the whole point of this is to use a point that is on the line. Use any point on line AB. So we're going to use any point on line AB. So Sienna, pick a point. It doesn't matter which point you pick, but pick one.
Um, Wait, I could pick from the A, which is 1 and 2, and the B, which is 5 and 10?
Yes, do you know why?
Yeah, because they're on the line.
Correct. They're on the line. Both of them on the line. Now, I would not be able to use any one of these to find the perpendicular bisector because the perpendicular bisector would not pass through those points. However, line AB passes through both of those points. So pick one.
5, 10.
Okay. So Perseus, if we pick point B, which is 510, right? So if we pick 510, what is the next step, Perseus?
Okay, so yeah, I thought should I give a little easier way, but we plot that in we put 10 equals
Right? So X is 5 and Y is 10. Yes, so 10 is
yes,
equal to
10 equals 2. I mean open bracket. Well,
you good.
let's say open bracket, like how you do it for the example that we
I
did
would,
before.
I would
2
do
and
that.
5.
Right.
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
close bracket. Plus C.
Right. What's the next step?
Okay, next step. 10 equals 4. I mean, not 4, so my bad. So 2 5s are 10 equals 10 plus C,
Mm-hmm.
right? So you have to switch that around. And
Right.
C equals 10 minus 10.
Yes, that's correct. So let's work it one step at a time, right? So that'll be
That's right.
10 plus C is equal to 10. So I flip the left hand side and right hand side. Then I move across the 10, right? So C would be equal to 10 minus 10. So C is equal to what in this case?
0.
Okay, so if C is equal to 0, it means that this line passing through the what? Let's see how well I understand this thing.
The x and y intercept because they're both equal 0.
Okay, but what do we call, I see what you're saying, right? Because in this case, wait, it just said that the x and y intercept will be the same.
Eh,
Wait, take your time. This is the y-intercept. So the y-intercept is 0. The y-intercept tells you where the line passes through. It tells you what value the line passes through on the y-axis. So if a line passes through 0 on the y-axis, right? It means that it passing through the what? So Perseus, it was onto something. So imagine you have a line and it passing through 0. This is 0. What would I call this point here? So that's what O. O.
yeah, I'm sorry, I forget the word. The origin.
Right. If C is equal to 0, it means that the line is passing through the origin. So we have everything now. So could you tell me what the final equation is?
Y equals
What is M,
ms 2
right? So we're going to say Y is equal to 2x
x plus
plus C.
0 plus
Yeah.
C plus.
And so I could just write Y is equal to 2x. Yeah, because if you add 0, come like adding nothing. So Y is just equal to 2x as the answer. Right? We okay with that?
Yes.
Okay, nice. Vanessa, I want you to help me with part B. Right?
Yeah.
All right, so Vanessa, read part B for me.
Find the equation of the line parallel to AB that passes through the origin.
Okay. So Vanessa, in this question, they're saying that the line is what?
Parallel.
Right? And they said that it passing through the
Origin.
what's the coordinates for the origin?
0,
0, comma.
0.
Right. Okay, let's see if we could figure this one out. What was the gradient of AB? So the gradient of AB was what? Is any prior question? Vanessa?
Yeah. No, I just looking. Wait, is mm, 2?
Yeah. So MAB is 2. So the gradient on this line is just 2 as well. Do you understand that?
Yeah.
So, Sienna, can you explain to me why we're saying the gradient of the new line is also 2?
Um, because of the formula.
Read back what it said.
Oh, wait, wait. Because parallel means that it have the same gradient.
Yes. Yes. Right? So I could just say, so MAB, and I could just call this one the gradient of the second line. Sure, why not? So M2, I could just say M small 2, which means the second gradient is equal to 2. And why? Because parallel lines have the same gradient. Parallel lines, same gradient. Okay, so Vanessa, we okay with that, right?
Yeah.
All right. So Vanessa, they have the same gradient. Yeah? The same
Mhm.
gradient. Okay. So let's write the incomplete equation. So what would the incomplete equation look like? So we're going to start off with y. So y would be equal to,
Mx plus c,
right? What is m in this question,
gradient. Well, 2.
right? And we don't know what c is, right? So I just write y is equal to 2x plus c. Tell me if you're okay with that.
Mm-hmm.
Right. But now I want you to pay attention to something. What did it say in the question? It passes through what?
The origin,
So if it passes through the origin, that means c is,
0.
think about it, right? Think about it. If you have a line passing through the origin, I don't want you to say it with doubt. Think about it logically. If a line passes through the origin, it passes through y is equal to 0, and
Mm-hmm.
yeah. So our answer is just y is equal to 2x plus 0, right? Because, so you don't have to do no working for this question, right? They said it passed through the origin. If it passes through the origin, it means that the y-intercept is 0. Means that the y-intercept is 0. So that's it. Like, we okay with that?
Yeah.
Okay. So Ria, I have a question here.
Yes, sir.
So Ria, you notice that the equation of the line parallel to AB passing through the origin is the same equation as the first one. You see that?
Yeah.
So think back to vectors, right? And when we was doing vectors, we come across this term called collinear.
Yeah.
And collinear vectors is vectors that on top of each other in the same direction, like in the same direction.
Yeah.
A question, right? Y is equal to 2x and y is equal to 2x. Wouldn't that mean that these two lines are on top of each other?
Yeah.
So wouldn't that mean that those two lines are collinear because they're on top of each other and they have the same gradient?
Yeah, that would make sense.
Yes. So another question could be, define the relationship between line A and line B. And you could say, well, these lines are collinear because they have the same gradient and same y-intercept, right? It's the same
Yep.
equation. It's the same equation, Ria. So they would just lie on top of each other. Yeah. You can you understand.
No, I understand.
All right. So Ria, while you're unmuted, help me with C one time.
I know that was coming.
Right? Read
Okay.
fast.
Find the equation of the line perpendicular to AB that passes through point C 3, 4.
Okay. So this new line, right? I could call this line the third line, right?
Mm-hmm.
If we want to find the equation, what do we need to find first?
The gradient.
Right. We need to find the gradient. Now they're saying that this line perpendicular to what?
AB.
What does that mean?
Um
So the gradient of line AB was 2. So how would I find the gradient of this new line?
Or we change sign and flip it so it could be negative a half.
Right. So the gradient of this third line, M3, is just negative a half. Simple.
Mm-hmm.
And do we have to find my question, right? Is this a perpendicular bisector question or just simply a perpendicular question?
No, it's just a perpendicular question.
Good. Some of you might be thinking, well, we start perpendicular bisector and we finish it, so this might be a perpendicular bisector question. No, this is just a perpendicular question. Notice they give you the point, so we don't have to find no midpoint or anything, right? So yeah, Ria, what's the next step? We know the gradient,
Um, we plug it into y equals mx plus c,
right? So I'm going to write y is equal to,
negative a half
so we're
plus
missing,
c.
so we're missing C. What we gotta do?
So we have to take the point that we get and plug it into the equation. So it would be, well, 3 will be x, y will be 4. Say you're doing it for me and I'm saying nothing.
I feel like you know how to do the thing. Okay, sorry. You tell me.
Yeah,
You tell me.
right. 4 equals to negative a half in the brackets, on an open brackets, 3 plus c.
Right, let me just simplify. What is minus a half by 3?
Um,
Don't overthink it. We have a negative by a positive number. Final
7,
negative.
negative 7 over 2.
No. Negative
No?
3 over 2. Negative 3 over 2. Why is that? Well, we have negative a half multiplied by 3 over 1. And 3 is the same
Oh,
as 3 over 1.
okay, yeah.
So negative 1 by 3 is negative 3, so negative 3 over 2. Cool,
Okay. So 4 equals to negative 3 over 2 plus c.
right? So Ria, eventually you're going to become really good at this and you could leave out that baby step. So you could just jump straight to the answer. So you would say C is equal to 4 plus 3 over 2.
Equals plus 3 over 2, yeah.
Yeah. Right. So you can
So
take
I just do it just to make sure I get the right answer.
that's good. But eventually you could break away from the training wheels. Right?
Yeah, I guess so.
So 4 plus 3 over 2, that should be 11 over 2. Let's confirm that. Why did I say 11 over 2? Because 4 is the same thing as 8 over 2, right? And 8 over 2 plus 3 over 2. 8 plus 3 is 11, 11 over 2.
Ah.
Right? So C is equal to 11 over 2. So that being said, what's the final answer?
Y equals to negative a half x plus 11 over 2.
Yep. So I feel like you get the general gist of it, right? Like in all of the questions, you find an ingredient first, right? Then you need to find C. To find C, you need a point on the line. That's the whole process. So how you
Yep.
feeling about lines? You okay?
Yeah, I did.
Okay, nice. All right, so that's essentially it for lines. Now, there's one more thing that I need to go over in detail, but we technically did do it. We would have looked at how to find the point where lines intersect. That's where we had to do simultaneous equations. I'm gonna do one example like real fast, like really, really fast. And yeah, do one example really, really fast. But next class, we just gonna be doing questions, right? We're just gonna be doing questions. And after lines, I want to do linear programming. Do you all know what linear programming is? Have any of you all heard about it?
Nope.
Okay, that's where you introduce inequalities into straight lines. Like, say you have to like shade part of the line look for the overlapping region. I guess, and now not ringing any bells.
Oh, so that is what we call it
What's that?
linear programming.
Yeah, linear programming is when you have different inequalities and you plot them on a graph and you study the behavior of them. So like,
And I shaded them.
yeah, yeah, that's self. So this is what we're gonna start next. Because this is the progression of lines. So yeah.
Oh, I remember this. Oh my gosh. No.
Okay, so intersecting lines. The point of intersection between two lines can be found by solving the system of equations right. Let me just do an example first. And guys, this generally works out the easiest when your two equations in the form y is equal mx plus c. So I'm gonna write a little note here. Uh, Extremely easy once your two lines are both in the form y is equal to mx plus c. It means that you don't have to find a third equation. Means it no need to find a third equation. No need to find. Sienna, did you do simultaneous equations in school as yet?
Yes, sir, we did.
Did you do elimination and substitution method?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I'm not sure if you remember, but generally speaking, when you're doing simultaneous equations and you're using the substitution method, you would need to come up with a third equation, which tells you what one of the unknown is in terms of the other one. So you could do a substitution. So say for instance, you had y is equal to 9x plus 3, and then you had like y plus x is equal to 2. You would move across x. So you get y is equal to 2 minus x. And anywhere you see y, you would just write 2 minus x. That's the general gist of it. You remember that?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So I'm gonna show all you one example, right? And since we finish with lines, you guys should be able to answer all the questions in the worksheet. Now I will repeat, the answers are there. You have no excuse to not do the questions. None. So please try as much as you could. All right, Ria, I'm looking at you. Please try as much as you could.
Sir, I will. I
And
will.
Perseus, you too. Please, all you're not doing this in school. All you need to do extra practice, right? Okay. Let me get a question really fast. All right, so Shana, you there? Okay, I'm not hearing Shana. Um, okay, Vanessa, you there?
Yeah.
Okay, Vanessa, let me just run through this really fast, right? So let me just say we had two lines. Y is equal to 2x plus 3. And we had another line, x plus y is equal to 12. I'm going to call this equation 1, and I'm going to call this equation 2. Now, since in this example, it wasn't given both equations in the form y is equal mx plus c, here we're going to do, right? You're going to take equation 2 and write it in the form y is equal mx plus c. So if I do that, what would the new equation be? Tell me, Vanessa, if I made y the subject for that equation, what would I end up with? Y is equal to what?
Y is equal to um
So to make y the subject, what would I have to move across there?
the x.
Right? So that would be 12 minus x, right?
Yeah.
Or you could say minus x plus 12. That's fine. So we have three equations here. This is what we're going to do, right, Vanessa? Don't you see that y is equal to 2x plus 3 and y is also equal to 12 minus x?
Mm-hmm.
If that's the case, and we could put 12 minus x equal to 2x plus 3?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm going to say 12 minus x, and that would be equal to 2x plus 3. This is just a quick speed run of it, right? I'll go through some more detail next class and we'll start questions. What does it look like I need to find for over here, Vanessa?
X.
Right. If I'm trying to find for x, all x terms should be on the left-hand side and all constants should be on the right-hand side. So this 2x, I'm going to do what with it,
Move it across.
right? That 12, what am I going to do with the 12?
Move it across.
Right. So tell me what to write on the left-hand side and on the right-hand side.
2x minus x is
Now,
equal
if you move across positive 2x, what are you going to turn to?
minus 2x.
Right, minus 2x minus x, and that'll be equal to what?
3 minus 12.
Right, what is minus 2x minus x? Okay, even simpler, what is minus 2 minus 1?
Minus 3.
Right, so minus 2x minus 1x is minus 3x. What is 3 minus 12?
Minus 9.
Right? I want to find for 1x too. So what I have to do on both sides?
Divided by 3.
Positive 3 or negative 3?
Minus 3.
Minus 3, right? Right? So negative and a negative would turn into a positive, right? Negative divided by a negative is a positive. Right? So you essentially end up with 3 into 9. What's 3 into 9?
3.
Right? So x is equal to 3. Great. Okay? So we need to find for y now. Vanessa, how am I going to find for y? Take a guess.
You plug it into one of the equations.
Right. I should plug it into either 1 or 3, right? Because both 1 and 3 tell them what y is equal to in terms of x. So
Mm-hmm.
pick one. 1 or 3. Which one do you want to pick?
3.
3? Okay. So if I pick 3, y is going to be equal. So 12 minus x, right? We know that x is 3. So we say 12 minus 3. What is 12 minus 3?
9.
9. Okay, so the point of intersection here, right? Point of intersection would be what? So tell me, Vanessa. Point is made up of an x and a y value. So We found the x value and we found the y value. So tell me the point now.
3, 9.
Yeah, 3, 9. This is the general gist of it. That's it. That's it, right? So if you have two lines, if both of them are not in the form y is equal mx plus c, you're going to make them, you're gonna make both of them in the form y is equal mx plus c. The next step is to do a substitution. If y is equal to 12 minus x and y is equal to 2x plus 3, you're going to put it equal to each other and then find for x. Once you find for x, you could plug it into any one of the equations to find for y. And that's the whole point of it. So you feel that easy, Vanessa?
Yeah.
Okay, nice. So that's it for lines. Next class, I'll go over everything and we'll wrap up. Right? So yeah, guys, thanks for coming to class today. All right. I will see you all next Thursday. Later, guys.
Bye, sir.
Bye bye. Right. Okay. Right. Sienna, I see that you're still here. You're right. Okay, I see that Sienna just left. Okay, okay. All right. So 4 and 5 people rolling in. Nice. But Rhea was always here. And Briseis. Rhea, how you feeling? Rhea, I don't know how you just making or like 4 hours.
Like, oh, I don't know. I don't know either. I don't want to question it.
Okay. Yeah, best we don't question it.
Yeah, we shouldn't.
Yeah.
I just here.
It just feel extremely boring.
No,
Oh, okay, okay. It's good. Don't lie to me, huh? You tell
it's
me.
it's very interactive, and I just learned better that way ever since. Like online school, when COVID was happening, I was like in Form 2, and I spent like half of Form 2 and the whole of Form 3 online, and it was terrible
It does be terrible, eh? Like
because I don't know how to call it, but like I must be interacting with my teacher to like learn.
now I know what you mean, right? Because anytime I do in
Yeah,
online classes, I have ADHD and thing now. So like I really can't pay attention unless I involve in the process.
me neither at all. And online was never something for me. I don't know if I have ADHD. I never get checked for it, but like I don't know about that. But my attention span terrible, terrible. But
But if you involve
class
but if you're involved in the process, it'll be that bad.
not it'll be bad at all.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
So
I
you're doing a good job, sir.
if you're just looking at somebody doing something on a screen, that's gonna be real boring. Like, oh, that's
Yeah.
real boring. Because you're not doing anything. What you doing?
And
It's
my
like
teachers barely used to talk in the meetings. So I used to just stop go.
I don't blame you. I don't blame you. But
Yeah.
I I just try to teach other like how I would I want to be taught. And like I feel like I think I feel like I hard to teach, honestly. I mean like I was learning fast, but I get distracted real easy.
Me too. Like you'll explain like what we was doing today, you'll explain that to me and I was real good at it, doing it by myself ever, and then I just lost. Like 2, 3 days after. I just lost.
That's why I had to keep on doing practice. Otherwise
Yeah.
it's gonna get bad.
Yep.
All right. So I'll highlight all the key points. Yeah, so we cover the entirety of lines. There's some things that I didn't show you all, primarily because I think it's a bit harder to understand. For instance, the slope point formula. I didn't show you that. I will show you what does look like, but I feel like you might prefer the way I showed you how to do it. All right, so I don't think this is all the Form 5 people. Things looking real scarce. Oh yeah, bomb up the chats. Go in the chat and start like bomb up, like let them know that class starts. That class in progress.
So
make the equations look so easy though.
Hmm?
It does make the equations look way easier.
Because it's easy.
Like
It is only look hard, no, it's only look hard, but
my
it's easy.
well, my Form 5 teacher used to like put long some long equations on the board, and I used to get so confused. And they used to talk very fast. Like real fast.
Like,
And I mean, I feel like I have anxiety, so like I would just like zone out in class. Like